who receive payments this month, expose the alarming data security issues that have lawmakers demanding answers, and explain how a new piece of legislation could put hundreds or even thousands of extra dollars back in your pocket every year by ending Social Security taxation once and for all. Welcome to Financial Area, where we break down the most important financial news that directly impacts your wallet. If this information helps you stay informed about your Social Security benefits, hit that like button and subscribe for more essential financial updates you won't find anywhere else. Let's start with the Social Security payments that went out this week. On Wednesday, September 10th, millions of Americans received their monthly Social Security checks, but not everyone got paid on the same day. The Social Security Administration organizes these payments based on when you were born, and this particular payment cycle was specifically for people born between the 1st and 10th of the month. If your birthday falls within that range, you should have received your payment on September 10th, whether you're collecting retirement benefits, disability benefits through SSDI, or survivor benefits. Here's what's crucial to understand. The amount you received should be exactly the same as what you got last month. Your Social Security payment doesn't change randomly from month to month, despite what you might hear in rumors or misinformation floating around online. This consistency is actually one of the most important features of Social Security. When you're living on a fixed income, you need to be able to count on that money showing up at the same time every month in the same amount. The Social Security Administration has maintained this reliability for decades, and it's something that over 70 million Americans depend on for their basic financial security. But while the payments keep flowing as scheduled, there's some serious problems brewing behind the scenes that could affect every single Social Security beneficiary in America. A recent congressional hearing brought these issues into the spotlight in a way that should concern anyone who receives Social Security benefits or plans to in the future. Representative Larson delivered what can only be described as a passionate and frankly alarming critique of how Social Security is being managed right now. He didn't mince words, and what he revealed should have every beneficiary paying attention. First, he pointed out that Social Security hasn't been significantly enhanced since 1971. Think about that for a moment. We're talking about a program that serves as the primary source of income for millions of seniors and disabled Americans, and it hasn't seen major improvements in over 50 years. Meanwhile, the cost of living has skyrocketed, healthcare costs have exploded, and the needs of beneficiaries have become more complex. But it gets worse. Despite the fact that the number of Social Security beneficiaries continues to grow every year as baby boomers retire, the current administration has actually laid off 7,000 Social Security employees. Let me repeat that. They've cut 7,000 jobs from an agency that's already struggling to keep up with demand. Have you tried calling Social Security lately? Those long wait times and poor phone service? That's a direct result of these staffing cuts. Representative Larson also raised what might be the most disturbing issue of all: serious concerns about the security of your personal data. He specifically called out a group called DOJ that has apparently access to sensitive Social Security information. We're talking about your Social Security number, your financial information, your medical records if you're on disability. All of this highly sensitive data that could destroy your life if it falls into the wrong hands. Here's what's really scary. This information is being stored in cloud storage systems without proper oversight from the Social Security Administration. Larson demanded to know who's responsible for protecting this data, who has access to it, and what safeguards are in place. The fact that he had to ask these questions in a public hearing tells you everything you need to know about how little oversight there actually is. Larson didn't stop there. He called for public hearings with whistleblowers and the people responsible for managing this data. When a congressman is demanding whistleblower testimony, you know the situation is serious.
The lack of transparency and accountability here is staggering, especially when you consider that Social Security operates with administrative costs below 1%. That's incredibly efficient compared to private insurance companies, yet they're cutting staff and apparently compromising data security. This brings us to a broader point about Social Security that too many people don't fully understand. This isn't just another government program. Social Security prevents poverty for millions of seniors and children. It's literally the difference between dignity in retirement and destitution for most Americans. Yet it's being treated like an afterthought by policymakers and administrators. The disconnect between the program's importance and the attention it receives from lawmakers is frankly outrageous. We're talking about over 70 million Americans whose financial security depends on Social Security, and yet the program is being managed in a way that puts beneficiaries at risk. But here's some potentially great news that could put real money back in your pocket. There's a new bill in Congress that could eliminate federal taxes on Social Security benefits. Let me explain why this is such a big deal and how much money we're talking about. Right now, depending on your total income, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits can be taxed by the federal government. Think about how unfair that is. You worked for decades paying into Social Security with every paycheck. That money was already taxed when you earned it. Then, when you finally retire and start collecting the benefits you paid for, the government taxes you again on up to 85% of those benefits. This affects millions of seniors who are living on fixed incomes and struggling with rising costs for everything from groceries to prescription drugs. Many people don't even realize they'll owe taxes on their Social Security until they file their first tax return after starting benefits. And then they get hit with a tax bill they weren't expecting. President Trump promised during his 2024 campaign to end taxes on Social Security payments, but the legislation that actually passed only provided limited relief. It expanded a tax deduction that exempts up to $6,000 of benefits from taxation. While that helps, it's nowhere near a complete solution for most beneficiaries. Now, Senator Ruben Gallego from Arizona has introduced a much more comprehensive bill called the You Earn It, You Keep It Act. This legislation would completely eliminate federal taxes on Social Security benefits. Not just a partial exemption, not just a higher deduction, complete elimination. Here's how the bill would work and why it makes so much sense. Instead of taxing seniors on their Social Security benefits, the bill would generate revenue by expanding payroll taxes to apply to annual earnings above $250,000. Right now, only wages up to $176,000 as of 2025 are subject to Social Security payroll taxes. That means if you make $500,000 a year, you stop paying Social Security taxes after you've earned your first $176,000. This creates a fundamentally unfair situation where ultra-wealthy individuals pay proportionally much less into the Social Security system than middle-class workers. A teacher making $60,000 a year pays Social Security taxes on every dollar they earn. A CEO making $2 million a year only pays Social Security taxes on the first $176,000 of their income. The remaining $1.8 million is completely exempt from Social Security taxes. The You Earn It, You Keep It Act would fix this imbalance while providing real relief to seniors. Senator Gallego has been very direct about the politics here, stating that seniors earn their Social Security. My new bill actually ends the unfair tax, while Trump sold them out to billionaires. Let's talk about what this would mean in real dollars for Social Security beneficiaries. If you're currently paying taxes on your Social Security benefits, this bill could save you hundreds or even thousands of dollars every year. For a couple receiving the maximum Social Security benefit and paying the highest tax rate on those benefits, we're talking about potential savings of several $1,000s annually. But beyond the immediate tax savings, this bill addresses a fundamental question of fairness. You worked your entire career and paid into Social Security with the understanding that these would be your benefits in retirement. The idea that you should then pay income taxes on those benefits, especially while wealthy individuals pay proportionally less into the system, is simply wrong. The bill also makes Social Security more financially sustainable by ensuring that high earners contribute their fair share. When payroll taxes apply to more income, it generates more revenue for the Social Security Trust Fund, helping to shore up the program's long-term finances. Of course, the political reality is that this bill faces significant challenges.
High-income taxpayers and their representatives in Congress are likely to oppose expanded payroll taxes. There are also broader budgetary considerations and the usual political dynamics that affect any major legislation. But the fact that this bill exists and has serious backing shows that there's growing recognition of the unfairness in the current system. The combination of taxing seniors on their earned benefits while allowing the wealthy to avoid paying their fair share into the system is becoming harder to defend politically. For Social Security beneficiaries, the key is staying informed and engaged. This bill represents a real opportunity for significant tax relief, but it won't happen automatically. Public support and pressure on lawmakers will be crucial for moving this legislation forward. The broader lesson here is that Social Security is at a crossroads. On one hand, you have serious administrative challenges, data security concerns, and staffing cuts that threaten the program's effectiveness. On the other hand, you have legislative opportunities like the You Earn It, You Keep It Act that could provide real improvements for beneficiaries.
What's clear is that beneficiaries can't afford to be passive observers. The program that millions depend on for basic financial security needs active advocacy and oversight. Whether it's demanding answers about data security, supporting legislation that provides tax relief, or simply staying informed about changes that could affect your benefits, engagement is essential. The passionate advocacy we saw from Representative Larson in that congressional hearing shows what's possible when lawmakers take their oversight responsibilities seriously. His demand for transparency and accountability reflects the kind of vigilance that Social Security beneficiaries deserve from their representatives. As you navigate these changes and challenges, remember that knowledge is power. Understanding how Social Security works, what threats it faces, and what opportunities exist for improvement puts you in the position to protect and advocate for your benefits. The stakes are simply too high to remain uninformed or disengaged. Social Security isn't just a government program, it's the foundation of retirement security for most Americans. Protecting that foundation requires active participation from beneficiaries, advocacy organizations, and lawmakers who understand what's at stake. Stay informed, stay engaged, and don't let anyone tell you that your concerns about Social Security don't matter. They absolutely do, and your voice can make a difference in shaping the future of this vital program. If this information was helpful for understanding your Social Security benefits and the challenges facing the program, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Financial Area for more essential financial updates. We'll continue following these developments and breaking down what they mean for your financial security.
Millions of Americans just received their Social Security checks this week, but a heated congressional hearing revealed shocking security concerns that could put your personal data at risk.